welcome back to this tutorial. So again, in the previous section we have added a few buildings, but right now what we will do is start to add vehicles. So again, we're going to add a car and then basically a plane. So if you look at in the standard assets, in the there's a folder called vehicles. So again, in this folder you have two folders, aircraft and car. To start with, we're gonna use the folder called car, and in this folder you have a folder called prefabs, and then you have the prefab that we want, which is basically the car. So again, I'm going to take the car and move it right here. Okay, now there are a few things that we need to do. The first person controller, again, we don't need it anymore for the time being, so again I'm going to deactivate it. And again, this camera by default, this camera is not really useful to us. What we need is a camera that will follow the player. So again, we're going to go back to standard assets, cameras, and again in the prefab we're going to take the multi-purpose camera rig. So again, drag and drop it right here. Okay, again, by default you can see the target for this camera is automatically the car, which is great. So now I should be able to play my scene, and by default this camera should be able to follow. Oh, sorry, what I need to do is to deactivate this camera as well. Okay, and I'll try again. Okay, now it's working. So again, we have a camera there that is sorry, I'm going to have to click on this window. And again, I can move around and the camera will actually follow me. Okay, so again, that seems to work pretty well. You might have heard it through my microphones there. And again, this is for the car. Okay, for the plane it's quite similar. So again, what I will do is again deactivate the car, and in my case I'm going to put a plane there. So again, I'm going to go back to standard assets, vehicles, car, aircraft, prefab, and again I'm going to get the aircraft jet. So again, right here. Okay, and again by default my multi-purpose camera rig will be focused on the aircraft jet, which is perfect. All right, again I'm going to play the scene. This camera should be following the plane, and now I should be able to take off this way. Perfect. So again to the left. Yeah. Okay, so there are too many elements in my environment, but again we should be able to fly through after removing a few of the elements that are present in the scene. Okay, so again, what you might do in this case is, if you have a plane, again, is to take this aircraft here and put it somewhere where there are actually no or very few. So again, this building, for instance, I could actually just deactivate for the time being. It will be easier, and that will be much easier. So again, now that this is done, if I play my scene, yeah, it should be much easier. Okay, so again, if I play my scene, okay, and so again, a few trees. So just make sure that you clean up the environment there. I've got a lot of trees and buildings there that are not really helping. So again, yeah, that's it. Okay, but now you should be able to go. Perfect. So you can use the arrow keys, and now you should be able to, yeah, perfect. Okay, so that seems to work. So I'm going to stop the scene, and again I was using the arrow keys to take off. Okay, so that seems to work. So that's it at this stage, guys. You've got a fully working environment with trees, mountains and buildings, and you also have basically different ways to navigate your scene. You can use a first person control, third person control if you want to, a car on the plane. So you've got everything that you need. So that's it. That's towards we're reaching the end of this full tutorial on the foundations for Unity. And again, you might consider going further to other tutorials that will teach you how to code. But again, what I would say is try to practice what you've learned so far, and then you may move on to C#. Okay, so again, to learn more, please have a look at the next tutorials.